Hey everybody, it's Abby Cooper and Lewis Cooper, who, by the way, is now 7 years old. Doesn't he look so different from the last time you saw him and like wiser and more mature? Because he is. We had a really wild birthday, didn't we? Yeah. We ate a lot of treats, both of us, because you gotta support your poodle, you know? We went for long walks. We had good times, and now we're just chilling. Well, actually, Lewis is chilling. I'm getting ready for a school visit. Wah! So, shout out to the 6th graders at OWL. I'm coming for you soon. Also, your school has an awesome name. Like an owl. Okay, moving on. Today, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my revision process because before I leave for the school visit, and once I get home, I'm going to be working on revising what I hope will be my 4th book. This particular book I first wrote last April or March, so about a year ago, sometime in this time. And I've been revising it on and off since then with feedback from friends and my agent and my poodle. Oh, he knows the word poodle. Did you guys see that? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I've been revising it on and off, and I'm at the point now where I think the book makes sense, and it might be kind of good, and I might super love it. I actually super, super love it. Like, I kind of want to give it a hug, which is how much I love it. Which, like, I've felt that before to my books, but I don't know. This feels kind of different for some reason. When I was trying to figure out what to do next after Friend or Fiction, my agent asked me, what do I need to write next? Which I thought was a really interesting question. I kind of wrote a few other things, and you know, they were okay. They weren't like anything super special, I guess. I just didn't really feel passion toward them. But this book that I'm working on now, I feel passion, and I feel like I need to write it. Like, Lewis can attest, the last draft I was working on, I was a little like spinny and jumpy, but in a good way, because I felt like I had the story in me, and I just had to get it out, and I needed to write it. So I'm excited about this one. So I've revised it a bunch of times, like a bunch of drafts, okay? Like draft after draft after draft. And when I say draft, I don't mean like, oh, I changed a couple words. I took out a paragraph. I added a smiley face emoji. I should do that, actually. Note to self. No, when I say draft, I mean like chapters were removed, characters were removed, characters were added, things were rewritten. Yeah, when people say like writing is rewriting, they're not just messing around. They mean it. That's what it is. But I've really come to learn to enjoy the revision process. It's fun kind of seeing your story get stronger and deeper and better. It's cool. It's cool to see. I like the process. But yeah, now I'm at the point where I've done lots of new drafts. And now, so I call this, where I'm at right now, the bindering phase. Dun, 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 dun. And I heart the bindering phase because what the bindering phase means to me is that the main changes are in there. Like, this is a book. But when I go through, when I decide that I'm at this stage, I print off my manuscript. I usually work on my computer. But when I get to the bindering phase, I print off the manuscript and I put it in a binder. Hence the name, the bindering phase. Pretty clever, right? I know. And then I go through it and I write all over it, usually in pretty colors of pens, multiple colors, obviously. Let's see, I don't want to lose my page, but I do want to show you what's going on in this binder because it's intense. And so what I'm doing when I'm bindering is looking for spots where it doesn't really flow, where I could change some word choice. I'm looking for inconsistencies, like maybe there's something I mentioned early on in the book that I say something about later, but it's different, it doesn't quite line up. Or maybe there's something I mentioned in the beginning of the book that then never comes back. And, you know, usually if there's a detail or something you're going to mention, there should be a reason for it. Otherwise, you don't need it. So, I think one of the other nice things about bindering is that I'm actually reading my book as I go through it. When I revise like earlier drafts, I'm usually kind of skipping around. Like I'm looking for all the scenes that a certain character is in or where a certain thing happens. I bounce around. I know a certain chapter needs to be rewritten, so I'll rewrite that. But when I'm reading the book in the binder, I'm actually starting page 1, chapter 1, and reading it. And so that is super helpful because, not only can I see where I need different words or more flow, I can also see sort of what's missing. Like as a reader, as I'm reading, I might think, oh, I really wish I knew more about what my main character is thinking about, whatever. Like these are the thoughts that occur to me as a reader. And so then I make a note in the binder, like I need to add more detail about what she thinks about whatever. So I have a lot of notes like that. So I finished going through and making notes in the binder. And now I'm going to actually put those changes into the computer, which I always think is pretty exciting because I like to see how the length of the book kind of changes and like how the chapters change, and it's really nerdy and exciting. And then once I do that, I'm going to do a final read through where I set aside like 6 hours in a row. It's kind of fun. It's like a tradition I have. I set aside like 6 hours. I go to a favorite coffee place, get a really good treat, and read my book straight through. And hopefully not have any more changes to make, but maybe I do, and hopefully I catch them during that final read through. And then off it goes to my agent, and then we probably revise some more because that's how writing works, but that's okay. I've made this book so much stronger than it was before, and I'm excited to get more feedback on it and hopefully watch it continue to grow. So if you are working on your own story or book or whatever, I highly recommend printing it off at some point, maybe putting it in a binder of your own that attacks you because you can't hold things. And it can be really, really helpful in a lot of different ways. And Lewis agrees, even though he's completely passed out. Okay, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you again soon. Bye.